I want to mention something regarding Donald Trump that's important and that I think many people don't stop and think about because he is a strong person. But just because somebody's a strong person doesn't mean they don't have feelings. And I'm saying this because I don't think people put themselves in his shoes. They look at him and think, oh, he'll be fine. He has a ton of money and it doesn't matter what was done to him. He worked his ass off for the American people, probably more than any president in my lifetime, probably in history. And yet he worked so hard and was honest and was truthful and was demonized every day. And then everybody knows what happened in 2020. And we look at that like it was done to us, and it was, but we don't stop and think about how it must make him feel. Now, I'm sure, I have no doubt that he will be fine or he's fine, but we don't stop and think, because there's been so much hate put at him, that he has feelings too, and how it must feel to work so hard at something. And then all these people that were supposedly your friends, your colleagues that you could trust, turn on you. Betrayal after betrayal has been done to him. And when he needed all of those people who supposedly supported him, where were they? Where are they right now? We have a Congress and the Republicans in Washington that love to spew a lot of words. But all of them should have been saying, and this goes for DeSantis especially, while everybody carries on about how great he is, I don't think he's great at all. And not because of his skull and bones time, but because of this one reason, that he doesn't have any moral character. If he did, he would be saying, no, we're not focusing on that, or me running, we're not doing any of that, because there was a good president that worked very hard for the American people, and he earned something that wasn't given to him. That's what every single Republican should be speaking about. I mean, forget the Democrats, but they should be too if they cared about the country, but I think we all know they don't. And really, the Republicans don't either. If they did, they would stop. I'm tired of hearing the Fauci and Rand Paul, and Rand Paul isn't speaking up either. None of them are. None of them are saying this was an American man that did right by this country, that did good by the American people. And he worked so hard and was demonized every single day. And yet he still earned what he should have been given in the last election. And how would you feel if you were him? So I don't think that anybody should get excited about any candidate. I don't care what they say. If they're not saying every single day, not vote, I don't care what's going on in the world. I don't care. If the powers of that be in Washington on the Republican side don't want to stand up for a man that did right by this country, then they are traitors to this country. And you know what? It's even worse than that. They're traitors just to humanity. Because we don't do that to people. If that's the kind of people we want to be, then it's being weak people. DeSantis, with all of the news, the media he gets and glorifies in it and thinks he's some hero, he's not. He has no moral backbone, because he should be saying we can't even move on to anything until we address what was done to somebody who did the most for this country. That's not how we really look at it this way. The Marines, no one left behind, right? Isn't that their motto? Or in the military, no one left behind? Well, all of our Washington, especially the conservatives, and all of that supposed conservative newscasters, and so many American people that are just getting on the bandwagon of DeSantis, have shown that you have no problem just leaving one of your own behind, one of your own that did the most for you, for the American people. So we're not being Americans by getting all excited about anybody in office or up and coming. We don't do this to people. If that's the kind of people we're going to be, then we won't get any good leaders. Because all of the leaders right now, the ones running, the ones that are in office, show that they don't make the priority talking every single day about what was done to one of the people that did the most for this country. There is no moral compass to anybody in Washington because of that. They protect themselves. Donald Trump was the opposite of that. He still takes all of these shots they fire at him. And we just sit back and think, oh, well, he'll be okay. He's got a lot of money. It doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings. Think about a time you were betrayed and then multiply that by 1,000. And then you might have an idea of how much that would be painful. And of course, he's the type of man that wouldn't show that. But because he did good things by this country, I believe, and because he was eradicating human trafficking, I believe he definitely has a heart. And somebody with a heart gets hurt by people that betray them. On a small level, I understand this, because when I would stand up and do the right thing, and again, this is on a smaller scale, much smaller than what Trump has dealt with, but the people that were my friends, or the people that knew the truth, they protected themselves rather than stand up for what was right and stand up for me. And that's part of the reason why over time, the past 10 years, I've mentioned how I've watched the world, especially this country, become self-destructing, because nobody ever does anything for anybody else, doesn't do the right thing. And I just think we're just a society full of weak men and women. And really what it is it's just men and women that are out to, I got to take care of myself. I got to think of myself first. Our country used to be different than that. That's when we were a stronger country. So I don't think anybody should even be getting excited about any candidates. Because honestly, I think it's a betrayal to Donald Trump, who did the most for the middle class. And what was done to him not only is not being addressed, but no, not even the American people are stopping to say, you know what, I don't care about DeSantis. I don't care what good speech he gives. I don't care what he does. He's not speaking about the most important thing, is that we don't leave one of our own behind. And Donald Trump is one of our own. So if for no other reason, there is no moving forward or getting excited about any candidate, because that would be leaving our own behind in the field of destruction. And no Marine or anybody in the military would do that to a brother or sister of theirs. So we sure as hell shouldn't do it to a man that did the most for this country and sacrificed a great deal of money, pain, anguish, and has been betrayed by everyone. I would hope the American people would show that we will not be like Congress. We will not be like these up-and-coming politicians. We will not be like General Flynn and focus on all these other things. We will focus on the fact that nothing moves forward, nothing, until the person that did the most for this country gets the justice they deserve, and we start demanding it, and nothing moves forward until then. Anything less than that is weak.